Hi you guys, this is Allison back in my space to craft. I just got back from a really nice trip with my mom. We spent just over a week in Portugal on a tour. And so I was working really hard to post some videos before I left so that I could still keep up 2 to 3 posts a week. And so I left my desk a little bit of a mess. This is the last one-page layout that I completed. And so I've said before that when I complete a page, I'm going to try and use the scraps from that page and make a card with it so that maybe I can reduce the amount of scraps that I'm putting back in my scrap bins and things like that. So here are my scraps from the page. So I went and found, I have this sort of mocha colored cardstock. I just made a quick A2 card base with it. This is map paper. My mom is home just for 6 days and then she's turning around and she's going back on another vacation with some girlfriends to France. So I thought I would just make her a card just to say bon voyage and enjoy your trip and thank her for the great time that we had in Portugal. So this is what I have for my scraps. So I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did on the page, and that is cut out some of these hexagonals and then put a sentiment on it. And I think I'm going to make it heavier at the top and then taper down to the bottom so that I also went through this pack. It's Around the World Die Cuts from Spellbinders, which has some really fun stuff in it that I've been using and exploring a bit. And they have an Eiffel Tower. I also have Eiffel Tower stamps and things like that, but I think I'll go ahead and try and use this since it's sitting out on my desk. And there's a little Paris tag. I have some leftover hexagons that I punched, this paper left over, and some of the gold. So I'm going to start by cutting out these hexagons and then see what else I need. I'm definitely going to use this in the background. I'm probably not going to double mat this. I'm just going to probably try and use this as a mat. We'll see how that works. It might be a little small. So I'll fast forward through this part because it takes a little while to do this cutting, and then I'll come back and chat with you and figure out what we're going to do next. Well, I decided to do most of the rest of the video a little bit speeded up. This section is, I think, about 3 times because, you know, it's just fussy cutting out the hexagons like this. And it's actually a pretty quick card. I think I was 20 minutes beginning to end, and that's with a few little issues that you will see. So you get to see me recover from a few mistakes as well in the rest of this video. And then I'll come back at the end and you can hear my real-time thoughts at the time that I finished it. So I just cut out these hexagons, and I had planned to have it heavier at the top than at the bottom, and I ended up not doing that, but it all worked out fine. I had a little nook to put the sentiment in. So as you can see, I'm not as heavy at the top as I wanted, and I'm a little heavier at the bottom. And that was not my initial intention, but that's okay. So I cut out an extra hexagon just to make it a little bit lighter there at the bottom, so I have room. I'm going to take a look at this scrap, and I imagine that I'm going to be able to fit it in there, but it's a little bit shorter than I wanted. So I do it this way, and then I totally mess up when I cut the length of it. So I measured it one way and then I cut it the wrong way. So you'll see I cut this off too short. I did not intend to do that. And then I have brown space at the top. Oops. So, pretty significant error. I'm just, rather than digging out another sheet of paper, I'm determined to use these scraps. So I'm just going to pull out the gold and do a strip on the side. So, not what I had originally intentioned. I think I had thought I might put a really thin stripe of gold down the center, but it ends up being about an inch that I need to make it all work. But, you know, it's just a quick card. It doesn't matter. Not everything is perfect. It is, I say it's out of this world crafting, but it's not. It's the real world crafting. And I am less than perfect. So I'm just going to tuck this in as far as I need it to go. I end up pulling this off and doing a little bit of a trim so that they're the same length. So I'm going to adhere them together so that I make sure I have the best coverage. And then I'm just going to trim off using it's called a personal trimmer from Creative Memories. It's a nice guillotine trimmer. So I'm just going to get that on there. And then I'll be able to tuck this under for a little gold brightness and figure out where I need to cut it. So it still comes out pretty cute, and I actually do like the extra gold on there. So at this point, I'll just call it a happy accident. It might also have looked really good if I had put all of this, the green and everything, just on a very thin gold mat around the entire edge of it. Now I take my little Eiffel Tower and I'm going to position it so that the Eiffel Tower sort of goes up that edge of between the green and the gold, rather than it sitting off to the side and then you having multiple vertical lines. So this little embellishment says Bon Voyage. I did look for stamps. I didn't really have a stamp that said Bon Voyage. I was a bit surprised by that. I'm trying to make this extra little Paris arrow work. It ends up not working. It doesn't make it onto the card, but that's okay. But I really like the Bon Voyage, and I'm going to end up putting it in that little nook right there, which I kind of like the spacing of it. Still trying to make that Paris flag work, and it's not going to. So using some art glitter glue. I haven't been here for a week, so I had to use the pin. And the little top came off the pin, so it's not easy to use. I struggle. I cannot wait to buy a precision glue press, but it's out of stock at scrapbook.com, so kind of waiting till it gets back in stock, and hopefully I can get it on a 10% off sale or something. It's a little bit of an investment, but I think it's going to be worth it. It's going to make my life a lot easier. All right. So in just a minute. Oh, and then here, huge mistake. I put the whole thing on the card the wrong way. So the card opens the wrong way. So I have to pull everything off, flip the card over, and do it the right way. Goodness gracious. Not rookie mistake, just inattentive. Not paying attention when I started laying things down. But it's fixed. And now you'll hear what I had to say. Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned. I accidentally cut this off too short. I was intending it to go all the way to the edge and maybe have a smaller gold trim there. But I recovered, and then I figured out I had put it on the wrong side of the card. So, had to recover from that too. But, what, 10 minutes for a quick card? Not too bad. And I think it came out really cute, and my mom is gonna love it. Thanks, you guys.